I still like this microphone because at least we don't have to talk with the fucking phone.
This little tiny ass microphone. It's so cute.
Oh wait.
Okay.
I guess it depends on who's. Oh, so the
Do I have
first
to
one
talk into
the
that?
dating app one, so
Yeah.
you would have to be in the middle.
Okay.
You're hosting the dating app one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do I have to be talking to this? Should I put this mic like a little bit
Actually-
closer? Like
Yeah, you
that?
can all the apps. Okay.
Oh, Lord. I'm doing too much at once.
Do you want me to do the dating apps one because I don't have anything to contribute?
That's why.
Oh,
I
you've
said
never been
earlier.
on dating apps, huh?
Right.
I've never been on a dating app.
That's why I originally said Amanda to do.
Yeah.
Oh, then you can do that because
Yeah.
I've been on every dating app.
Okay, great.
Like,
Otherwise, like I have
so
nothing
you
to
are
contribute.
in the middle.
Okay.
So
So
this
wait, let me
should
put
just
this closer.
go.
Yeah.
Hold on.
In our general direction.
I'm just going to put this like all the way up against the bed.
Let's do a quick test video with this. So just press record. Wait, is it already
It is
recording?
recording.
Oh, hi. Hey.
I want to go.
You
get
know
more
how we
food.
do, girl.
I was
For the
testing
YouTube.
it. I was testing it out.
I need more food.
How did
That's
the
my
foods look?
things.
How did
I
they
got
look?
olives for Jennifer because she loves them.
Oh. Are you gonna actually get on the bed?
I'm fine right here.
You're not even in the video.
I am. I'm right here.
This is not
I'm right here.
sustainable.
I'm not in that.
No, if you scoot over, no, because you're driving this one. So
Scoot
if you
over.
scoot over, and
You
I can
want me
just
up here?
No, I can bend over. It's my favorite.
Hey, bend over. Tools.
Like this, and I can like
Record.
do this.
So all you need to do is press record whenever you are ready.
So I can do this right here.
Hold the phone. Oh God, chew my food.
Chew the food. Oh, I should probably chew some first before I'm like.
Chom chom
shit.
chom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is a
Man,
long
that's
ass piece of
fucking
cheese.
good.
Right, this is the one that I was looking at last time we were there. I'm like, oh, this
Jesus.
looks bomb.
You got this today?
Yeah.
And I paid you for this, right? Or
Yeah.
no?
No, you girls fine with me. You're
Okay,
good.
good.
Yeah. I need to figure out how
It's
to
really
like.
good.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I'll eat the little cheese bites and the olives. Okay.
All right. It's been
All right.
3 minutes of eating food.
Hey, this is what you get.
Just like that.
This is what you get when you watch the YouTube.
You know what? I will say
You
before
get
we
bonus
start.
content of us eating, putting things in our mouths.
I would hope that whoever. Okay, wait, no.
We don't even have alcohol to refresh ourselves or whatever.
Yeah, alcohol.
We have a
alcohol
bartender.
is
We
bad.
have a couple bartenders to call on.
That's true.
I was gonna say that we're lucky enough. I think that we have people in our lives, significant others, who appreciate the fact that we know how to put down food. Because if you're dating someone, this is not the tip, but this is a tip. If you're dating someone that is like, oh, you're gonna eat all that? Fuck you, I am.
Fuck you. I'll eat
And-
the whole steak.
Exactly. I will eat my plate and your plate too. And your dick.
I'll put something in my mouth.
Yeah. And not in a manner that it's enjoyable. But anyways, we can do
All right.
that.
So this one is
Dating apps.
Mm-hmm.
We have. Are you ready? Experience? Yes.
Do we need our warm up?
Oh yeah.
I'm good. I'm still eating.
Fucking car alarm.
Car alarm.
Fucking car alarm.
You're both.
All right, here we go.
Okay, ready? And welcome back to TikTok and Mimosas. Hope you've been watching the pre-show content on our YouTube video because it's always fun and quite enjoyable.
I really do
I
think it's the
am-
best. I think that's our best content, to be honest.
The
The pre-show. Yeah. Jinx.
Those 2 to 3 minutes on YouTube are gold.
Yeah, they really are. Yeah.
So I am Amanda,
This is Jennifer.
Anna.
and on this episode we're talking about dating apps.
Mm.
In the world we live in, pretty much everyone has been on a dating app. I feel like I am the 1% who has not been on a dating app.
Good for you.
But y'all have a lot to share about this, and I have a lot of questions about it because I've never been on them. So,
Well, a couple things that I want to point out. One, this topic was requested by one of our patrons because our patrons are the best. We love you and adore you. But also, 2 out of 3 of the women on this bed met their significant others on a dating app.
Hell yeah.
woohoo!
And
I meet mine in the alley. I meet them in dark bars and alleys.
Hey, baby, you looking for a date?
Craigslist.
Wait, wasn't it
Craigslist
that?
personals.
Yeah.
Oh my god, remember that?
Yes.
Or misconnections. Like, oh, I saw
Misconnections.
you on the bus at 5 a.m. on Tuesday.
You were wearing that purple shirt.
You were wearing a scarf and a purple shirt.
You were
I
doing the
wanna
walk
marry
of
you.
shame, eating a burrito.
Walk of shame and a burrito.
Walk of
You
shame, eating a
farted and I
burrito.
fell in love.
So, yes, you guys. Well, okay, Jen, I'll start with you. What app did you find your significant other on?
I met my significant other, aka Nick, on Bumble, and I will say I had been a little bit dating app fatigued because I had tried several apps. I had tried Hinge before that. I mean, several years ago I tried Tinder and that was a disaster. So I
Tinder.
will never use Tinder again. And then I decided, okay, I'm not meeting men organically and in a pandemic, no less. So I thought, okay,
In
I'm
a
gonna-
pandemic?
in a pandemic, in a pandy. So I decided, all right, I'm going to try this Bumble thing. And the cool thing about Bumble, and I was talking to Nick about this earlier, because he's shy. And so with
He
Bumble,
is?
well, when it comes to like meeting women.
Approaching women? Okay.
When it comes to meeting women.
Oh.
So the great thing about Bumble is the woman has to make the first move. And so my first thing, of course you swipe and you match with people. And he had this adorable picture of him with a cat. So I swiped, of course, and I messaged him right away and I said, you and your cat are adorable. And so then he said, something along the lines of, you're very pretty too, like your cat as well, or something like that. And we immediately moved over from then to Instagram. Like, we got off the app immediately.
Oh, you wasted no time.
We got off the app, yeah. So I would recommend, if you can, getting off the app as quickly as you can, because I'm the kind of person that I don't want to message someone for a week or 2 or 3 before I meet them. I want to see if there's chemistry, maybe do a video chat, and then get off the app. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have so many places to go with that. For starters, one, my experience, and this is personal, when you move, that was really sexy, by the way. Like, I saw it at the corner of my eye. There's been a couple of times where if I move too quickly from the app to the phone number, I feel like guys, that's almost like an ego boost to the guys, where I feel like they're like, oh, she's too easy or something. I don't know what it is, but they don't follow through with the date, right? So like you move from the app to a phone number or Instagram or whatever, and they just kind of like disappear or ghost you or whatever.
I have something to add to that as well. When I say get off the app, I don't mean give them your phone number right away. So for me, it was getting on Instagram to see if Nick's fucking pictures matched what he looked like. I like to see when they took that photo that they posted as their main photo. By the way, if you're posting photos on a dating app, it should be like a clear photo of your face with good lighting. It shouldn't be a group photo of you as your profile picture.
Oh, so the worst. It's like, which one are you?
Yeah, like, which one are you? So, but yeah, so what I meant by that was I got off and I went to Instagram because I wanted to see if his pictures matched, and also I just didn't like being on the app to begin with. And then we started chatting on Instagram, and then from there, he still didn't have my phone number until after we had our first date.
Okay, I have something to say about
Yeah.
that. Okay, so you like from experience, like if I'm on a dating app, I will just go on I will chat on the dating app and make a chat or like through the chat I will make a date from there. After they follow through, then after the first date, then I will give them my phone number, because I have had 2 experiences where I have been stalked by people from them getting my phone number. But so the guy that I'm dating right now that you guys met, his name is Will, and we met on an app for swingers. Like I have talked about before, we met through Field, which is an app that I love. But 2 things that I really reasons why we hit it off. One, we were on the same thing about everything. Like, obviously, like, we're both like open, non-monogamous or whatever. But also, like, everything I said, he respected. So, like, when I told him, like, hey, I don't want to give you, like, I don't want to give you my phone number. He's like, oh, yeah, respect that. So, we moved to another app where we just, like, exchange. Field is a really glitchy app for chatting. So, we moved to another app. And then we did our date through there. And then we went on our first date. And it was, like, amazing. So, then I sent him my phone number. And then we started texting through there. But for women, not just like for that app, but for like women, it's like a security thing. Like, as we talked about, like, get a Google number, get like, you know, like, don't give out your phone number like so easily, because you can, if you give someone your phone number, you can link it to some of your what's it called, social media. Because that's what happened to me before. I forget where I met this guy, but I gave him my phone number, and he got upset because I didn't want to go on a date with him after all, and I just canceled our date. And he's like, oh yeah, I guess he found me through like Facebook, because I had my Facebook linked to my phone number. So he called my work, he asked for me, and he's like, if you don't come over and suck my dick, I'm gonna tell everyone what a fucking hoe you are and all that, like,
bitch,
that
they
you're
know.
on.
By the way, if he does that, you can just be like, oh yeah, he had a really small dick.
Yeah.
Like, you have all
This
the
was
power.
like 10 years ago, though. I mean, it was like there was barely like any social media, but I remember I was like so terrified at the time that, like, I was young, I lived on my own, like, no one knew. Like, I mean, I was just like not a secure woman. But I remember I reached out to like one friend, and I'm like, he used to like do like security for like celebrities or whatever, and I'm like, this guy's threatening to do this, and he's like, no, he can't do any of that. He's like, you can sue him. But basically, he was like, yeah, if you don't like, you know, basically he was asking for like all these sexual favors, and he's like, if you don't do any of this, I'm gonna tell you like your employees that you're like a prostitute, that you're this and that you're that. But then,
you know, because
like,
they're gonna believe some stranger over me. But okay, cool.
Yeah, exactly. But point is, he found me over my freaking phone. So ladies, don't give out your phone, or give out like a Google phone. So I'm super cautious about that.
I will say, even though I broke my rule with Nick, like, I didn't have a video chat with him before I met him. I highly recommend you do a 5 to 10 minute video chat on the app of your choice, the dating app of your choice, before you meet them. Because say you do a 5 to 10 minute video chat and you realize, oh, they don't look anything like they do in their profile, and you could have saved yourself a lot of time and money instead of going to a coffee or a dinner to figure this out in 5 minutes. So,
I will say, the whole thing with this pandy, that's what we call the pandemic, I had never been on a virtual fucking date before, up until now. It's the best thing ever. You can leave your house, you can have a couple drinks, you're chatting over Zoom, you get to know each other. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But I love it now. But I think I would continue to do this from now on.
I will say on the 5 to 10 minute video chat, I will say, hey, like, you seem really great. After a few minutes of talking, if you're vibing with someone, say, hey, I'd love to just hop on a really quick 5 to 10 minute video chat just to see if, you know, the chemistry is there. I've had some guys that are like, no, I won't do that. That's a red flag. That means unmatch them immediately. You know, so 5 to 10 minute video chat. And honestly, I would set a timer and I would say, okay, well, it's been 10 minutes. It was great talking to you. And if you really like that person, continue and go to the next level and set a date. Whether it's a Zoom date or an in-person date, whatever you're comfortable with, but like definitely do a video chat, because it will save you a lot of time and money on people. Like, I used to go on a ton of first dates with people and like they didn't match their profile or they were terrible in person. So just please do yourself a favor and save yourself some time and money.
Can we go over some of like the things that like people talked about on like the catfish and all that?
Yes, we can.
Have you ever been catfished with like a guy?
I've
been catfished as a woman.
Tell us about it.
Okay. So way back in the day, by the way, if you're a close friend of mine, you know that I love online dating. It's the easiest. I don't have time to be set up. I don't have time to go to a fucking bar. Like this whole like meet organically. It works for some people. It doesn't work for me. I like to like basically like candy shop. So many years ago, this was like maybe like 10 years ago, I was on Match.com. I matched with this one guy, and this was when I lived in Orange County. I lived in Fullerton. He was in Newport, and I remember he's like, oh yeah, like I am like down by the coast or whatever. So I went to this one restaurant by the water, right? So I'm waiting there. I'm like just having like chips and salsa, and this like old ass man walks by, and I'm talking like old, like 60, and he's like, hey Anna, and I'm like, oh, who are you, like, do I know you? And he's like, oh, so and so, and he said his name from the app, and I'm like, what the fuck?
What?
And then he's like, he starts talking to me, and I'm realizing that his pictures from the app had to have been maybe like 20 to 30 years
Oh my god.
old. And then like, of course, like in my head, I'm thinking like, oh yeah, like all his pictures from the app are from like far away. None of them are close-ups, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this guy just starts, he's telling me, he's like some like old white dude. He's telling me about how like his wife, he's divorced, and his wife would tell him that he was the best sex he had ever had. And he's like, oh yeah, like I have been with like thousands of women or whatever.
Thousands.
Yeah. So anyways, our date was like shit. It was basically just talking about himself and the size of his dick or whatever. The check comes. I mean, I hadn't even ordered like food. I just ordered like a couple of drinks and like some like guacamole, and that's it. So the check comes, and he pays, and he's like, oh, so you want to come back to my office? And I'm like, no. And he's like, no, I'm not going to try anything. I just want to show you my office. And I'm like, okay. Because it was literally next door. Like, literally, like, maybe, like, a few steps away. And it was, like, on the water. So I'm like, oh, it's probably nice. So we go back to his office, and he's showing me, like, the scenery and the water. So he's like, yeah, so after he, like, tells me everything about his business, he's like, we could just like have sex here. And I'm like, where? And then he opens up like a closet, and he rolls out a mattress, like a cot almost. Like he rolls it out. He's like, I have this, and I'm like,
Ew.
I think I'm gonna leave. So I remember I just like, I don't know.
Oh
like,
my god.
Maybe
Gross.
I high-fived him or something.
Ew,
Or like hugged
that's
him.
disgusting.
And I went back to the valet and got my car and left. But
So I have a question. What do you guys look for in people's profiles when you're looking for someone?
Oh, I have something. Okay, I actually wrote out a list because this is very important to me. I'm just going to go down the list because here's some tips and tricks for how to succeed on dating apps. Okay, obviously we already taled about choosing your
it's the
photos
last piece of
wisely.
cheese.
So have a strong profile picture and a clear image of you. Okay, we're not talking shitty lighting of you far away. We want to see your face. All right. And as Anna said, don't use a photo that's really old. Use a photo from within the past year, because I mean, I get it if you like need a haircut, you haven't changed your hair in a while, like whatever. But if it's like in a really old photo, that's misrepresenting yourself. And so post a photo of you that is recent. All of my photos that I used on my dating apps were within the last 6 months, and because I want you to know what you're getting. So no confusing group photos. If you have a photo
oh my
of
god,
you,
I cannot stand fucking group photos.
right?
I can't.
If you have a photo of you and maybe 2 other people and you're in the middle, cool. But if there's like group photo of like 10 to 15 people, you know how annoying that
all
is.
group photos.
And it's all group photos that just show, or if like you're the one in the middle and the other 2 are like the really attractive ones, like it's just really misrepresenting yourself. So no like confusing group photos. Okay, keep your bio short and sweet, but don't leave it blank. Okay, there was a study that
I can't do blank.
You can't do blank. There was a study by Tinder Tinder did a study that said men are 98% less likely to get a match if you leave your bio blank. So don't leave it blank. But also, I would say keep it short and sweet. Maybe keep it to things that you like doing.
I've thought about that.
Like keep it to things like likes, activities, things that you like doing. But avoid the passive aggressive, like, oh, I'm 6'1", because apparently that matters, or like avoid passive aggressive. Like,
I can't fucking stand that.
here's my height because apparently that matters.
You're already unenjoyable, and I haven't even met you yet.
Exactly. Like, don't be passive aggressive. That's douchey, and no one is gonna swipe right on you. Okay.
You know what? I don't care. Like if because that is a thing where men put their height on their profiles. Personally, I think we have discussed this before. I don't give a shit how tall you are. Like I said, like my ex was like 5'6", which is like, you know, it doesn't register in like a lot of like people's like attractiveness scale. I don't care how tall you are. Like I don't care if you put it on your profile. Unfortunately, like society, like they put like a label on height. Height does not mean shit. Because you could be 6'4" and you can be a fucking douchebag.
Yep.
So personally, like if you have your height on your profile, I don't care. And that's one thing that like I feel like maybe some guys do. They feel like their height is like their attractiveness. So like
6'4".
yeah, but they don't fill out their profile. Exactly. They don't fill out their profile because they don't feel like they're like that's their characteristic. They're like, oh, 6'3", and like
that's all you have to offer.
Yeah,
how
exactly.
tall you are. That's not even a thing that you had to do.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like you could be 6'3", your personality at 2, and your dick up -5.
Yeah, I mean, height is all genetics. So you put in zero effort to be that tall. So if you want to put your height cool, you can put your height. Just don't put anything douchey like because apparently that matters, because you're gonna get a left swipe on that one.
Yeah.
I would say respond to messages in a timely manner, and don't just say hi. If you just say hi,
oh my god, I cannot stand. So if you say hi, hey, hello, anything along those lines,
A one word.
anything, I will just like delete. I cannot fucking stand that. I can't. I just cannot. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, you're not here to show up. You're just like filling the void with nonsense.
Yeah. But you're not trying.
Right, that's what I mean.
It's like you're literally not trying. It just means nothing. It's like you're just like shooting a blank. Like you're like, you know, just jacking off and like shooting a blank. It's like, tell me something. Like tell me something about like my profile. If you like a picture, anything, or like, you know, like I'm a sucker for like really corny ass like what's it called pickup lines. Like try that. I mean, obviously like not every girl is like that, but just try. Anything other than hi, hello, hey. Ugh, I can't.
Oh, and another thing is when you're chatting with someone, I mean, I get it. Like, some people are just looking for, like, a hookup, and that's cool.
Put that on your fucking profile.
But put that on your profile. And do not lead with sex talk. Like, you know, some people are actually looking for, like, a real connection. So if you are looking for a real connection, don't talk about sex when you're chatting with someone. I think it's a bad look. You can talk about that later when you've already established a connection and you're about to, you know, hit it. But
yeah.
So do you have any other steps in this, what you look for?
As far as what I look for, I mean, I was looking for, you mean like looks or like
Well, I mean,
what?
like you're just going through your little list you made yourself, so, you know, between the photos and the bios and stuff like that, is there anything else that you're...
Yeah, I mean, if someone has a long-ass bio, it's just like, come on, I don't want to read a novel. Like, let me know in a short and sweet paragraph what you like doing. Like, hey, I put in mine, like, I like cats, I like hiking, I like eating, like, I love food, I love movies. These are the things I like doing. If you like doing those things, cool, you know, swipe right on me. But I'm not going to go into a long thing. And also, I look for someone who is focused on the positive, so not someone who's like, don't hit me up if you're not looking for blah, 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 or just someone who's
in
negative.
the negative. Yeah.
Someone who speaks in the negative is a red flag. Like, I want someone who focuses on the positive, like looking for a partner who I can connect with, you know, like things like that I look for.
Right.
Yeah, and we actually put out a questionnaire and a poll for our listeners on Instagram, and we got some responses. The question was, what has been your worst experience on a dating app? And so I just want to read a couple of the responses.
Yeah.
So one listener said, never having a single match, and that's really sad.
Mm-hmm.
I have something to say about
say that.
Because, again, I'm a serial dater, and I've been on every fucking app. And again, I'm an open dater, so, like, if anyone wants to talk about, like, their dating experiences with me, Sorry. But that's very common for men, period. Because the ratio of men on dating apps to women, it's like, I don't know, like 100 to 1. I mean, that may be like exaggerating, but
seems like it. But continue.
no, but it's the truth. Like it doesn't matter like how good looking you are as a guy, anything. Like if you are a guy on a dating app, your chances are like so slim compared to a woman. So like if you're trying to match, it's just it's difficult. So that's what ends up happening.
You just reminded me of something, because I've heard of guys who literally swipe right on every single profile, and then once they get a match, then they'll weed out the ones they actually like.
Yep. Exactly.
I was talking to Nick earlier, my boyfriend Nick, and he said when he was
My boyfriend Nick.
when he was on the dating app, he would only swipe right on those he was actually interested in. And I mean, I know it's a numbers game.
Because he's a Virgo.
He's a Virgo.
Like, he's a
You're
Virgo.
I know
He
it's a
reads the
numbers game.
profiles.
But like, you don't want to match with someone if you're not actually attracted to them. So I would say only swipe on those you're actually attracted to.
But you need to read the fucking profile. That's what I'm saying.
So what do you guys put on your profile? Because if you use multiple sites, is there some kind of standard formula you guys use? Like standard, you go to these photos, or you start from scratch every time you make a new profile?
100%. I have a particular not formula, but the things that I put. So this is what I was telling my friend, because he's like, how do you get all these matches? And I'm like, on my profile is the non-negotiables. I put ethically non-monogamous or polyamorous, must love cats, and I put something like, again, this is my personal, what's it called, preference. I will put something like, oh man, what do I call it? Something like science, something like believes in science or whatever. Obviously, because of like my profession.
Believes in science? How drunk are you, Anna?
Like believes in science. No, because of like the whole like last year, because of like the whole COVID thing. Like I would have some like anti-maskers or whatever. So I would put like like science is real, Black Lives Matter, and like neo-Trump supporters. So that was my thing.
But flat earthers are okay?
Well, I think if you believe in science, you wouldn't believe that the earth is flat.
Yeah. No, but
Like, I'll give it to
oh, I should do that. So like when this episode comes out, I will take a screenshot of my profile and I will post it.
Ooh.
Because it's like literally like one screenshot. But it's literally like,
we need to make like a dating app 101.
Yeah.
And like I'll give some photography tips.
Yeah.
You can give some writing
but like
tips.
for me, like
Absolutely.
that's literally it.
Keep it
Like
short and
what
sweet.
is it that I am okay with and not okay with, and that is my profile, like like my 100% non-negotiables. Like what do I want? Like if you match this, like anything
The
that
rest
comes
can be
after,
figured
it's like
out.
negotiable.
Yeah.
I will say Anna brings up a really good point in that you should always be honest in your bio.
Honest,
if
yeah.
you are married and looking for a hookup, say that. You might, not be looked at, in a positive way, depending on what app you're on. But be honest, because there's
You'll
gonna
find someone that can deal with it.
You'll find someone who's looking for what you're looking for. If you're looking for a casual hookup, say that. If you're looking for a long-term relationship or marriage, say that, because there's gonna be someone who will match with you. But if you're being shady and saying, "Oh, I'm looking for a long-term relationship," but you're really just looking for booty, that's not cool. So please be honest for the sake of yourself and everybody. Communicate. There are lots of we got some other horror stories that I just want to share.
Yeah, of course.
So one person wrote that found a girl, the social accounts checked out. Turns out it was a guy using his ex's account.
I think police should be involved for that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like if someone's using like, I don't know, like I don't fuck around. Like if someone did that to me, I would be like, oh yeah, FBI, call them up and just be like, this person is trying to impersonate me and this is not cool.
Yeah.
So
you reminded me of something because, well, technically you didn't, because I was just looking at this thing. I was like,
You reminded me of something, but you didn't.
you really didn't remind me of anything.
It was almost a good
I was
segue.
actually just trying to segue into the fact that another person wrote that they were either ghosted or not getting any responses at all.
That happens all the time.
This happens all the time.
That's happened to me, baby.
Yeah.
No, I mean, no, that's it. Like, that happens to everyone. That literally happens to everyone.
It
like,
didn't happen to me.
Because you never
Isn't
used
it
a
very-
dating app,
Yeah.
bitch.
No, but I'm sure that's happened to you. Have you been ghosted
I've
on that?
been ghosted
Yeah,
before. I've
exactly.
sent messages,
Yeah.
you know, like on Bumble. I sent messages because you have to make the first move, right? I sent messages and never got responses. I'm like, all right, cool.
I
What I usually
personal, to be
do
honest.
is I'll give them like a couple days, maybe 2 or 3 days, and if they don't respond, I'll unmatch them. Because if they're not going to put the energy into me, I'm not going to put my energy into them. But at the same time, you gotta put energy into, like, if someone's messaging you on an app and you don't respond for 2 days, like, okay, obviously,
Then don't be on the app.
then don't be on the app. So, because you're wasting your time, you're wasting their time.
I have
they're
a theory
gonna find
about that.
someone. What?
I have a theory that if you're like being ghosted, or if anything, let's say you're on an app, and like I've told you girls, we're like, even this app like Fueled, where it is expected that, you know, it's a hookup app. I personally think that a lot of times, maybe the people that are on these apps, if you're getting ghosted, it's probably because the people that are like making these apps, one, they're either desperate and they're looking for like validation, or once you do, you know, establish the connection and, you know, you're about to like set up something like a date or whatever, they just become so intimidated by your. I do want to believe that they're like, oh my gosh, this girl is like an amazing communicator and she's like beautiful or whatever. I don't think that's what I'm looking for, because I want someone to like lie to me and not be as cute.
Yo, I can vouch for that, not from a dating app stance, but I had someone
In person, yeah.
someone
sure.
reach out to me to say, like, your friend Jen is so beautiful. She's like the woman of my dreams. I'm like, cool, I'll let her know. And she's like, he
No.
like freaked out. Was like, no, never. I don't want to ever talk to her.
What?
Basically turned this whole thing into like, no, like she would never go for me. I'm like, whatever, if that's what you think.
If you say so.
If you,
I
fucking
definitely
say
want
so.
someone who's got confidence. So if
Put
you
your
have no
fucking
confidence,
balls.
then
Yeah.
why? No, I'm not going to be interested in someone with no confidence.
No.
Like, you gotta. That's some inner work you got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
You
my
get to
dream
go,
man
dude.
is a confident man.
Yeah. We have any last tips to wrap this up?
Well,
Or
I will.
couple.
I have a couple. Well, there's a few of our listeners who've been catfished. Who, you know, were talking to women and they asked for like gift cards and money cards.
Cool.
Those are all scams.
Those are all scams. If you're talking to someone and they ask for money, that's a scam. Unmatch immediately. Block.
We should have had your
them.
mom for this one.
What's that?
Your mom? We should have had her
Oh,
on.
God.
We
My
should have
mom
had
is
her.
so gullible. I love her to death. She's very gullible.
She's adorable, but
Her boyfriend is someone she met on a karaoke app and who lives in India, who she's never met and probably will never meet. But that's a different story. So yeah, be
That's
honest.
a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother episode. Yeah, just be honest about what you're looking for. Have really good photos. Keep your bio short and sweet. Do a 5 to 10 minute video chat and find the love of your life.
Ding, ding, ding. Anything else?
why have you never tried apps? That's what I want to know.
Well,
That's like a bad thing.
Good
I'm
question.
just like curious because it's
Yeah,
like that's like apps, like dating apps, or like that's everyone has made someone on a dating app. It's like not even.
except that.
It's funny because like they've been around for so long. Like, why have you not used them?
Yeah.
Most of my relationships have been long-term relationships, so that like already takes like a good 75% of the time out of the equation. And then after that, I've been content with not dating when I'm not dating, and so then I end up meeting someone. But yeah, anytime that I've not been in a relationship, I've tried to have the mindset of being content with not being in a relationship. Not saying that I'm not open to one, but that I'm not like in need of one. So that kind of just has, for me, organically worked out in the way that I just end up meeting someone.
Yeah.
You know, like anonymous audio engineer here.
It was who you met through a friend.
Right,
He's a
exactly.
fucking bartender who's
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty drunk by the way. He's got us drunk, and I'm pretty drunk, by the way. But yeah.
He made our drinks. We're drinking right now. But yeah.
See, but maybe like, sorry, this is like
Segue.
Yeah, but it's
Tangent.
whatever. Yeah.
Tangent.
No, but like maybe
Tangent.
that's tangent. But maybe that's like the whole. You know how like everyone attracts certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like that's your thing. Like you attract not meeting people on apps. Like you attract people organically. Maybe that's like your thing. Like for me, like I love dating apps. I think it's like so easy to just like swipe. It's almost like a game, like where you're like swiping on someone and like you read their profile and you see their pictures. So maybe that's why, like that's what I attract. But maybe like for you, because you're like, it's not my thing. That's not like what you're attracting from the universe, and that's why you're like attracting these people organically. So that could be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
And on that note, because our next episode, we're going to talk about the best and worst places to pick up people, which I think is the perfect segue into wrapping it up.
Wrap it up.
Wrap it
Wrap
before
it
you tap
up.
it.
Please do, yeah.
Of course, we'd love to thank all of our supporters, our patrons on Patreon, and last but not least, of course, our liquor daddy.
The wonderful, the
Jesus
magical,
Christ.
the talented liquor daddy.
Oh, Lord.
At the Liquor
Yeah.
Fountain, 5203 Fountain Avenue. They're on Instagram at the Liquor Fountain. You can download their app if you want to have your booze delivered.
But what if I need a snack with my liquor?
Ooh,
Oh,
they have
just-
those too.
Are you watching our video right now?
If you've been watching our video, we've been eating.
I've
this
literally
whole
been
time.
like inhaling all these fucking calories
Can I
that
have
are
this
not
last
in
one?
my
Is that-
calorie
Can I have
budget.
that? Can I have
Yeah.
Yep. We have
These salmon
salmon,
noodles?
we have
Fuck.
cheeses, we have olives, we have crackers, we
Christ.
have meats, we have booze, we have
Everything.
sweets,
We all know how much I love the meat,
Oh Lord.
and cheese. Honestly,
Ooh.
if anyone watched the last couple episodes,
which is hilarious because my boyfriend's vegan. I love his meat too.
Yeah.
hey,
Hey.
he's mostly vegan.
Mostly.
Yeah. And on that note, I think we
Pussy's vegan.
what?
Pussy is vegan.
Right, because it's not well.
It's kosher.
That's a
If
whole
you say
episode.
so.
That's a whole episode.
It's
So
kosher.
we thank our sponsors, thank our liquor daddy, thank you listeners. We hope that you share any of your favorite moments and episodes and videos and photos with your friends and your family and your school teachers and the police.
Your school teachers.
Your doctors.
Miss Robinson.
Have you ever heard of dick talk and mimosas?
Talk to your gynecologist about dick talk and mimosas.
Yeah. Please
We
do.
approve this message. And until next time,
Bye bye.
bye.
Meow
Go suck some dicks.
meow.
All right.
Say
More food.
Right.
more
food. More drinks.
I need another drink.
Yeah.
Let's refill.
Water too.
All right.
Oh my God.
Oh no.